Take a deep breath in and exhale. Keep breathing deeply on this day, at this moment. Keep being grateful for the opportunity to be alive. Doesn't matter how many challenges you can be perceiving that you have. Be grateful for this opportunity, because this is a precious moment that you live only once. What if today you choose to ask yourself, which fear worries me the most? Which fear worries you the most? Which fear is taking your peace away? Take a deep breath in and exhale. What if today you choose to affirm, I am grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up? I am grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up. Are you grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up? Do you believe it is possible to be grateful when fear shows up? Is it possible that you're believing that being grateful and having fear are two totally opposite things? Review whatever it is that you believe in, because your beliefs make your reality. Are you aware of that? Take a deep breath in and exhale. I am grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up. I am grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up. Do you realize that the things that you fear, others maybe could have the same fear or not? And vice versa. Is it possible that you are judging others because they have fears that for you are considered stupid? Do you realize that at that moment that you consider someone's fears like stupid, you automatically treat them differently? Take a deep breath in and exhale. I am grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up. I am grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up. Are you embarrassed of any of your fear? Is it possible that you are too concerned that people find out that fear about you, that you try to hide it? I am grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up. I am grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Are you willing to let yourself know which fears are distracting you the most? Is it possible that you are taking your time and your energy thinking of a possibility that may or may not happen? Take a deep breath in and exhale. Do you realize that when you Find out which fear is worrying you the most. You can do something about it. You can have a strategy for it. You can rationalize it. Because do you realize that some of your fears are totally irrational? But relax. We all have that. This is not only you. We all have some fears that are irrational, and we all have some fears that look irrational for others and very rational for us because, fill the blank, what happened to you that you believe that fear is totally logical that you have it. And honor your past self. Honor your experiences. Honor your emotions about it. And fear is an emotion that if you allow it, you can learn from it. If you choose it, you can learn from it. I am grateful to acknowledge when fears show up. I am grateful to acknowledge when fears show up. There were people in this world that have enormous fear that the sun may never shows up again. With more knowledge, fear diminish. What are you willing to learn today? To diminish some of those fears that you may have or not. But the ones that you care are the ones that you have. Or are you trying to facilitate for someone else to overcome their fear? Do you realize that you could do that? You can support them by trying not to bully them, not to make fun of them. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Do you realize how powerful it is when you listen and do your best to understand what others are facing? I am grateful to acknowledge when fears show up. I am grateful to acknowledge when fears show up. What if today you decide that whatever fear shows up, you will capitalize it? But how? How can I capitalize that fear? Learn something new about that. Learn something new about how to overcome it. Take a deep breath in and exhale. I am grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up. I am grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up. I am grateful to acknowledge when fear shows up. Remember the question for today. Which fear worries me the most? Which fear worries you the most? Blessings.